I know you're probably just getting a first impression of him in camp, but Joe Scally obviously has broken in this season at Gladbach at right back. Um, Probably going through some things that you experienced when you first moved over to Europe, proving himself. What have been your impressions of Joe in this camp, and have you tried to give him any advice on kind of how to navigate the beginnings of his professional career? Thank you.
Yeah, no, he's a great player. I mean, you can already see it from training with him and just a little bit of time we've had together. But as far as giving him advice, I mean, I haven't spoken to him a ton as of yet, but it would really just be to keep your head down and keep going. You know, I think obviously as his name gets out there more and more, there's going to be a lot of hype around him. But the most important thing is that you know, he just keeps doing what he's doing and don't buy into, you know, all the hype, because in everybody's career there's going to be highs, there's going to be lows, and right now he's obviously at a high, and you know, he's doing great. So there's no reason why he should, you know, change his mentality or anything. Just keep doing what he's doing, and he's going to have a great career.
Next will be Avi Creditor from Sports Illustrated.
Thanks, Michael. Hey, DeAndre. I believe you played in Mexico. Played against Mexico like 7 times, I think, against them in different competitions, different types of intensities. I guess, what have you learned about the rivalry in your time, and how has your perspective of playing in it kind of changed? Like, do you recall what it was like in 2014 in your first game, and is there any way to kind of relay that experience to some of the guys who are about to experience it for the first time?
Yeah, I think the main thing when it comes to the U.S.-Mexico games especially is the fact that it's just a dogfight. You know, obviously they're our main rivals. So, you know, there's always going to be that bit of motivation and whatever you want to call it around that. But it's also the fact that, you know, we're both very good teams. So it's always a fight. It's never the prettiest game, I would say, but it is usually quite an entertaining game. So we're looking forward to it. I think, you know, we have a good team to be able to match up with them, and hopefully we can get 3 points come Friday.
Next will be Ron Blum from the Associated Press.
Hi, DeAndre.
Hello.
You of the group have longest commute. What has it been like making these journeys from Turkey in 2 months? And how's it been living over there? How's it been different for you in Newcastle?
Yeah, it's been great. You know, one of the things that, you know, especially in the past couple of years that I've really tried to focus on is just learning about different cultures and different things like that. So to be able to move over there and experience a complete different culture than what I'm used to has been amazing. You know, not just for me as a football player, but for me as a person. The Turkish league has surprised me a bit with the quality that's there. I think there's some very good players there. So that's been great as well, being able to challenge myself against them. And then obviously being at Galatasaray, being able to play in Europa League this year, you know, hopefully Champions League in the coming years has been great as well. So it's definitely been a challenge, but it's been a really good challenge for me.
Next will be Mike Waitala from Soccer America.
Thanks, DeAndre. A lot of talk. There's been a lot of talk about the fan support, especially with this game. And my question to you is, as a player, how different is it for you when you're on the field in front of a crowd that is mainly supporting your team compared to when you're playing in front of a crowd that's supporting the opponent? And how much of an effect do you think crowd support, fan support in the stadium can actually have on the result of a game?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, I'd love to sit here and tell you that, you know, the crowd doesn't matter at all, and you know, as a professional athlete, you just go out there and can focus directly in on, you know, just playing the game. But you know, the crowd does matter, and that's why, you know, so often that's why it's called a home field advantage, is because normally you're going to have a home crowd, and they're going to be, you know, loud against your opponents and talking against your opponents, and they're going to be for you. So the support matters massively, and you know, we're excited that it will hopefully be a very pro U.S. crowd here in Cincinnati, and we're looking forward to it. And you know, like I said, hopefully they can make it difficult, you know, on Mexico.
Next will be Ryan Talmadge from Goal.com.
Hey, DeAndre. Obviously you've got guys on this team that have had a taste of playing against Mexico, but not many who've played Mexico in a World Cup qualifier. And obviously it's just one of, 14 games that you guys are going to have to go through, and 3 points in this game mean the same as 3 points against Jamaica.
Right.
But what makes a World Cup qualifier against Mexico different, and what is the sort of things that you kind of want these guys to understand and appreciate kind of going into this game?
Yeah, I mean, as I touched on before, it's our main rival. So that's obviously one thing. You always want to win against your rival. 2, it's a home game, so you're always going to want to win against your rival at home. And 3, as you stated, it's a World Cup qualifier, and against Mexico, who's right now at the top of the group, anytime you can take points from them and move closer to being at the top of the group is huge. And we know that this is an important game. I don't think it's any secret. I think people would probably put us in Mexico as the 2 teams battling for first place in CONCACAF. Probably had Canada in there as well. But obviously with CONCACAF, there's many good teams and many different turnouts of different games. But with Mexico, it's always important to try to take points away from them because they are a very good team, and they can be very dangerous.
Next will be Ivis Galarsep from SBI Soccer.
DeAndre, I wanted to ask you about the atmosphere. Obviously, you've played in settings where it's been very pro-Mexico crowd.
Yep.
Now the crowd on Fridays is going to be pro-U.S. How much does that affect you as a player, just having that support of the home team and not dealing with that kind of away fan pressure? And separate topic, the pressing of this group, the defensive pressure that you guys can put on teams. How have you seen that evolve over the time that Greg's been the coach? It seems like there's more and more of an emphasis on you guys collectively pressing and being able to just kind of smother teams and work on that. How have you seen that kind of evolve and improve over the years?
Yeah. So for the first question, I mean, having a home crowd is huge. As I stated before, it's very important. When the crowd's on your side and cheering you along, sometimes you just need that extra kick in the, I don't want to say a swear word, but extra kick in the butt, to keep pushing, and that's what the crowds help you do. So that's what we're hoping we'll see from the crowd on Friday. And then as far as the second question goes. What was the second question again?
As far as you guys pressing
defensively. Oh, pressing, yeah, that's right.
Sorry. Changed.
No, it's defensive pressure is not an easy thing to teach, especially when you don't have a group for a whole year. It's not a club team; it's a national team. So we're together for 10 days at a time, really, or 2 weeks at a time. But you can see it getting better and better. And I think the huge emphasis with our team is we want to be on the ball, and obviously to be on the ball, you have to keep it, but when you do lose it, you want to win it back as quick as possible. So that's kind of the emphasis that we put on defensive pressure there. And I think it's easy to argue that most people would probably play worse when there's pressure on them than when there's not pressure on them. So that's we try to make it hard for teams to play. That's the main focus.
We'll go to Sam Stejskal.
Thank you, Michael. Thanks, DeAndre, for taking the time. Hope you're doing well today. Mexico obviously has some talented wingers on their roster. I'm curious what you see from Tecatito and Chucky Lozano in terms of their abilities and what the plan is to stop them. And then just a second quick follow-up for you. This is the last qualifier most likely against Mexico at home in this World Cup format. Next one, auto qualifier for both most likely. And after that, more teams in the competition. Do you have any thoughts about that? Just kind of closing this chapter in the rivalry?
To be honest, not really. I mean, really the only thought of is just to win at home and against a very good team. That's the main thing. But to your first question, their wingers, yeah, I mean they have dangerous players all over the field. We know that, and that's why they're a great team. But I mean, we want to play our game and be on the ball. We can talk about their wingers and this and that, but we have great players as well that can be very dangerous. So I don't think it's anything that we haven't faced before. You know what I mean? But we do know we have to be cautious with them and try to keep them at bay.